The biggest issue we face out here would probably be the overpopulation of kangaroos. Numbers in the last 10 years have probably blown way out of proportion to the highest number that's ever been recorded.
And I guess a lot of people will say, oh well, you know, the kangaroo is a native animal, they belong in this landscape. And that's true, and I don't think any endeavours by European people are going to get rid of them at all, whether we try it or not. They're so well adapted to the landscape. They get to places where we can't get to, and they're going to be here forever. But their numbers have certainly increased, and I think increased because of the changes we've made over time since European settlement.
By putting water in the landscape, you're providing everything to stay on the land a lot longer. So the kangaroo population is vastly superior to what it was historically.
Our fencing can control our sheep and our cattle, but the things that it doesn't control very well are goats and kangaroos and emus, I guess, to a lesser extent. I can take my stock out of a paddock, my sheep and my cows out, and I can rest that paddock, but within days we see an influx of kangaroos, and so those pastures are not getting the rest that they need.
It's very frustrating. You move sheep from one paddock and then you come back and that you think that you're leaving a paddock to rest, but it's not. It's just probably getting double the pressure when they move in from the kangaroos.
We need to be able to control the grazing of all our livestock if we're going to deliver what is best for our environment. So when our environment needs rest, we need to be able to deliver rest.
Like, they have a massive impact on your land. They chew country out, and you just see it. Like, yeah, it's very evident.
They are hampering our ability to regenerate our landscape. And when you think that there might be 50% of our grazing pressure might be kangaroos at various times, when our return per animal might be $50 or $60 per animal, and we're receiving nothing from kangaroos, there's a significant cost as well as hampering our ability to regenerate the landscape.
We could be forfeiting that amount of income, and I guess it's a question that should be asked is, you know, would people in the city be happy to give away 25, 30, 40% of their income for no return, and just so they can say that they're managing the national icon, the animal that appears on the coat of arms.
A few of us got together and wanted to control kangaroos and probably manage our grass more than anything. There's 22 landholders inside it, and it consists of 436,000 acres, and the fence is 210 kilometres long. The fence should be working on kangaroos, wild dogs and pigs and feral goats mainly. From the time it's been up, it's only been a couple of months, but we haven't seen when any of them have got through at this stage. It means it's 150 high by these 15 centimetre squares in it. And it's also got a 30 centimetre foot that goes down on the ground so that they can't dig in from the other side. And we've also got a barb on top.
And now the problem is that the kangaroo numbers are so great and wild dogs have increased in numbers that to properly manage the grazing here, I can't just manage waters. So I've started building an exclusion fence, and I think this is the way I've got to go. And so it's an 80-kilometre boundary, and I'll take a couple of years to get there, but I'll build that and then I'll be able to totally manage my grazing on this land.
No, we don't want to get rid of all the kangaroos inside. We're happy with our kangaroos, but it's more when the dry times come and other areas that haven't managed their property good enough, all their kangaroos move in and eat us in the drought and then damage our land that we've been looking after. So
It's hard to believe that we cannot commercially do more with them than what we have. We could feed the starving world on the kangaroos from out here, but instead we do very little with them, and when the next drought comes along, I think it's a national disgrace that millions of kangaroos will die of natural causes when they could have been commercially culled and had a humane death rather than starved to death.
And it's really up to us as country now to acknowledge that we do have a problem and how we're going to go about managing that problem